Well, it's a shame you guys aren't Charlie Brown Christmas album appreciators, because I was going to have a great little tidbit to start the show leading us into Christmas, but I guess it's going to have to wait for next year, for when you have a whole year to listen to it.
I appreciate it. I just said that I couldn't. I mean, you seem to be. Well, what's the tidbit? What's the tidbit?
Yeah, just rip it off, Fitz.
If you're wondering, Jake is eating a Cliff Bar. That's why it sounds like he's got some marbles in his mouth.
I'm almost done though. I got one bite left.
Yeah, I got to get that protein up. So, Lauren at very__regular, you might know him as Rotating Sandwiches, popular enough in baseball Twitter circles. Vince Guaraldi Trio, Charlie Brown Christmas Appreciators. One's got to go. Ready for this? What Child Is This? My Little Drum, Linus and Lucy, which is the Peanuts theme, the you know the song. And then Christmas Time Is Here.
Gentlemen, I'll tell you, it's not either of the last two.
That's what I said. Those are the only two I know.
Yeah, those 100% have to stay. Gentlemen, I propose to you a pro gamer move here. If you know enough of the Charlie Brown Christmas album, Vince Guaraldi Trio, that jazzy, it's, first of all, it's like audio serotonin. It is the most relaxing, calming album in the entire world. Put it on, make yourself some cocoa, you know what I mean? Cuddle up by the Christmas tree. It's a delight. I recommend it this time of year to anyone. Pro gamer move here, if you know the album enough. The correct answer to eliminate is What Child Is This? Because What Child Is This on that album, it's like the second or third. It's a nice little like jazzy kind of piano, tickling the ivories cover of What Child Is This? It's like 2.5 minutes long. You eliminate that. But Liam, would you believe me if I told you that later in the album, there is a 5-minute version of the same song. It's just called Greensleeves. The legendary, I think it's British originally, Greensleeves. Greensleeves is just What Child Is This? So you get to have your cake and eat it too here. I think it's a very, very easy solution here. You don't lose anything.
You make it sound like it's a sure thing.
It's a no-brainer, because My Little Drum is too good too.
Fitz, you've convinced me.
Yeah,
I'm saying,
Fitz, do you know if they still make piano keys out of ivory?
I'm not that much of a piano man. I would never be mistaken as Billy Joel.
You're not much of an ivory tickler?
No.
Well, I was thinking because, obviously they weren't concerned with this sort of thing back in the day, but to kill an elephant, just for some key, that could be anything. It could be fucking wood, plastic, Well, they didn't have plastic, but it feels a bit cruel to me.
When was plastic invented? Genuine question.
Plastic was invented pretty recently.
Like 2005?
1907.
That was kind of close. That was within a turn of the century.
Turn of the century, yeah.
That is the plastic expert, a.k.a. it's Yamamotover, a.k.a. Jake. We are also joined by Welcome to Boston, blank! ! A.k.a. Liam. I am Takashi Saito, a.k.a. Fitz. I don't think I've used him before for this Takashi Saito. I think he's
a good
new.
one. He was special in 2009.
He was located. He was only here for the 1 year, right? Maybe one, maybe two. Maybe he was there in 2010.
I'm looking right now. He was here for 1 year.
Just dropped one.
Just 2009?
Yep.
One night only. And then, he was off like a fart in the wind. God bless him. We are Pod on Lansdowne, back after last week's conundrum with scheduling. I apologize for that. That's on me. I forgot I had the Celtics game Tuesday. I had another prior commitment made weeks before, set for Wednesday. Thursday came around, and I'm like, you know what? I also kind of forgot that we were supposed to maybe record Thursday. Let's just reset for Tuesday.
I just want to let our loyal listeners know I was ready. I was here at my desk with the microphone plugged in. And, we had said 48 hours before we were recording on Thursday night. So I didn't think twice about it, but 7 o'clock rolls around. Oh, now it's 7:15. Another few minutes pass. And I was like, I should probably text them.
Yeah, because I'm usually I'm pretty good at like the morning of or early afternoon of the day that we record. Like, hey, we're still good to record today. What time are we doing it? It threw everything through a tizzy. You can blame the Boston Celtics for this, if you ask me. And so I don't know if we'll ever do Pod on Causeway ever again.
It's over. Yeah, that brand.
We probably will. Looking down the pipe for the 2024 Red Sox season.
Good
at the offseason so far.
Transition.
Good, Jake. You're like a professional at this now with the transition there. We welcome you back though after the week off. A lot has happened since then. But in a similar vein, a lot has not happened since we last spoke with you. Shohei Ohtani is off the market. We don't have to go into that. I'm sure you've already heard however many shows, podcasts, you name it, discourse online about that signing. And it wasn't with the Red Sox, so it doesn't even matter. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is not signed yet with any baseball team.
Will he ever sign? Is the question.
We know when he's going to sign, Liam. 10 minutes.
It'll be done in about an hour. Yeah, it'll be done in about an hour. Yeah,
that's when it will officially be Yamamoto.
So just FYI, right now it is 7:48 on Tuesday night. So
yeah,
something happens.
So when Passan tweets out at 8:57,
I'll clip this and then I'll have the screenshot with the time code circled, Eastern time, just so we're clear. Yeah, that it's happened before and it will happen again. But before we got on to record, gentlemen,
I was being censored.
Well, yeah, you were being censored, but that wasn't what I was going to say. You're definitely being censored, Buckaroo.
The radical left is trying to quiet Jake.
I regret to inform you that Pot on Lansdowne has gone woke.
50 woke.
The Colorado Supreme Court has actually removed Jake from the 2024 ballot.
But no, Chris Cotillo, who is on a break. Apparently, he's like, what's his name
vacation.
from Friends? We were on David Schwimmer. We were on a break. Yeah, he's on vacation, but had the decency to tweet out this little ditty about an hour before we recorded. Yoshinobu Yamamoto's East Coast trip did not include any visits other than New York. Obviously, the Mets and the Yankees, per Stats Masterson, Alex Spear. Hard to read into that positively for the Red Sox. He also went to San Francisco to visit the Dodgers and was in LA for meetings, but none to Boston. This mixed with the, I don't want to say like unearthing because it was just a couple weeks ago, you know what I mean? But the rediscovery of Tom Werner's we're going to be full throttle this offseason comment. I mean, Jake, I feel like you are the poster boy for this. It is like panic central on Red Sox Twitter, Red Sox Nation as a whole. It almost seems like no good vibes right now. Let's break out the overometer. 1 to 10.
Oh, God. 8, probably.
Yeah, that's legit, you know?
Well, let me preface.
It's a lot.
Or let me question that. Is it 8? Am I overing the Yamamoto or am I overing the offseason?
The season, the 2024 season.
Yamamoto, based off of
that's probably a 9.8 at this point, I would say, Yamamoto.
Unless they're doing a really good job of working
Unless
in the
he didn't need to
shadows,
see
credit
Fenway.
to them.
He didn't. He's already sold on the.
I've seen it in my dreams.
Yeah.
I'm in.
We could also say the storm Monday may have prevented him from coming to the city.
Absolutely, Liam.
Spin zone.
That's a great spin zone.
That's an 11 on the Coupon.
The wind was nasty that day.
It was
him and Joel, right?
Yeah.
Is that his agent?
But again, at the end of the day, us three, we don't have fucking sources. A lot of people don't have sources. A lot of it is speculation, and who knows what the hell happens if they're able to get this deal off the ground. If they're somehow able to, pull a rabbit out of the hat, pull a miracle out of their ass, then all the power to them. Fantastic. I'm about that. But it's hard to not, kind of read into what we've seen so far and not, start to get discouraged about the Yamamoto aspect specifically. So, Jake, to bring it back to the overometer, offseason as a whole, if Yamamoto signs anywhere, especially with the Yankees in New York, is the overometer for the offseason an 8?
Yeah. Yes.
What brings it back down to a tepid level for you? What is the way forward from there?
I would say you have to get Montgomery done.
Yes.
Like, I mean, if you don't get that done, it's over.
That's
it's a 10. It's a 10. And then you get that done, and then you trade for another top 3 guy. Fitz, it looks bad. It doesn't look good right now.
Yeah, not good. And Liam, like, to bring it back a couple of days now, since we missed some time, Seth Lugo being signed for, 3 years at $45 million total in Kansas City,
Sure was.
I believe.
Sure was.
Now, that signing itself, in a vacuum, I mean, I'm not shedding any tears over it. It's a guy who has mainly been a relief pitcher. I believe has had some injury issues, and he's 33 years old, 34. Good pitcher.
He might be 34 already.
He would have been a nice supplemental guy to add to the rotation, but c'est la vie if he signs elsewhere. For whatever fucking reason, that set people off. People got very angry about that. The fact that the Red Sox were outbid, presumably, by the Kansas City Royals there. And I think it kind of speaks to, they're running out of options at this point, especially if Yamamoto's not there. At some point, something's got to give. And if you want to live up to this whole full throttle expectation, something has to give. I don't want to get too hysterical about it, but I mean,
here's my glass half full. Unless you're a Dodgers fan, a Yankee fan, a Royals fan, or a Giants fan, your team has quite literally done nothing this offseason. Nobody else is. There's only really 4 teams that have been
D-backs.
Well, yeah, the D-backs have been busy too with
Ed.
They brought back Gurriel. So I don't know. I mean, like, yes, Ohtani was holding up the market. Now it feels like Yamamoto's holding up the market. So it's just feel like it's Groundhog Day, where it's like there's no news every day and there's no end in sight. And then there are these minor signings like Renfroe to the Royals too, like set a couple people off where it's like
that's like his
really
15th
cares?
team in 7 years. It feels.
But I mean, I look at Lugo and you're right, Fitz. Like he's going to be 34 next year. Last season was the only time he's ever started more than 20 games. Like it's not a huge loss. Yeah. So
if memory serves.
I'm not gonna cry over Seth Lugo. I'm not gonna cry over some of these lesser guys like Waka going to the Royals too. I mean, good for the Royals. They're getting their guys and they're getting it done
more than we could say.
Yeah. But I mean, at the end of the day, like that's not full throttle. If we had signed Seth Lugo, right after all the full throttle jokes were coming out, then it would have got flipped on its head. Like all the other teams' fans would be like, "Oh, they're going full throttle."
Six fans would have said that. They would have been like, "Oh, this is what you call full throttle." You know what I mean? Right. Seth Lugo, but then they whine that people get Seth Lugo.
It was a lose-lose situation.
I also think,
Liam, let me push back on that just.
Can I make one quick thing, Jake?
Cannot.
And then
you cannot. No,
I'm going to anyways. I can.
Okay, go ahead.
You forget that I can mute you. I can do that. I can actually censor you this time. A quick thing, Liam. I think there were more people at some point complaining about the people complaining that we didn't get Seth Lugo than the people who did complain that we didn't get Seth Lugo. Does that make any sense? You know what I mean? There are more complainers about the complainers at some point. I feel 100%. Like it got to that.
Like, what was we were texting about this the other day too. I can't remember if it was Seth Lugo or somebody else minor, where it was like people are complaining about the people complaining, but I don't see people complaining on the
you're making guys at some point.
Right.
You know what I mean? I get the frustration, like in general, like, okay, we have to do something here. Like, I mean, time is of the essence a bit here at this point. We're almost at the new year, and however many options are out there on the market, you got to make a move on it one way or the other. But yeah, at one point it did kind of flip there. Like, I feel like there's more people complaining about this than complaining about the complainers than our original complainers. Right. Jake, you have the floor. My apologies.
Thank you, Fitz. I just wanted to say that I think the flip side to that is like, it sounds like they're out on Yamamoto. Great, super. So if they know that, then I think the Seth Lugo signing does matter, because you probably need one of those. Obviously the Montgomerys and the Snells, they're gonna wait until Yamamoto signs. But like the middler tier guys, like you need one of those too, probably. Go do that. You can't
go get one of them now.
Yeah, we can't keep waiting around here. So I think that's the other side. I do get a little bit why people are upset. Like, I mean, would I have been fucking getting the duck boats ready for Seth Lugo? No. But we had 3 fucking spot starters a week last September. It's bad. It's bad over here. Guys.
Good clip there.
It's bad. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, again, in a vacuum, it's not a matter of being so torn up that Seth Lugo will not be at Fenway Park next year pitching for the Red Sox. There's a finite amount of pitchers that can be had here, and you need a couple of them to put together a rotation, or else you're basically saying, you're giving up the game and saying like 2024 is going to be another one of those transition years. We'll see what happens after that. You know what I mean? It's at least that's what it feels like at this juncture of the game. But I would like to. I understand you don't want to rush to any rash decisions, but I would like to see some movement here. And that's not what we've seen, Liam, with Yamamoto at this point. So I guess it's kind of.
I think I agree with Jake's sentiment where it's like at a certain point it's like it's kind of like shit or get off the pot. Like we need to start to see some sort of movement. You're seeing like, the Tigers are signing Jack Flaherty. Michael Wacha got 16 mil per year. Lugo's getting 15 mil per year. And these are guys where you're like, okay, sure, we could sign them and they'll help fill out the rest of the rotation, but they don't have that like higher ceiling that we're really looking for. So, I understand Breslow in the front office, like trying to be patient. And yes, if they lose out on Yamamoto, which seems all but assured, you still have good options in place to pivot with Montgomery and Shota. And everyone on the timeline was talking about Corbin Burns. Feels like people are just ready to pivot that way now. They can still make it work. It's just I think we're all getting cabin fever. That's all.
I think Shota in a vacuum is good, and if you pair him with Montgomery, I think in a vacuum that's pretty solid. Just with the context of Fenway, I would say ease a little bit on the air of caution, even though Montgomery initiates a lot of soft grounders, and it seems like Shota's a pretty crafty guy himself. Maybe he's able to initiate weaker contact on his own, but it's still 310 down the line to right at Fenway, or to left rather at Fenway. Jesus Christ, don't even know what field the Monsters out of Fenway. The podcast is halfly named because of that. Jesus Christ, Fitz. But yeah, no, 310 to left there. I think you could do worse than that, but that mixed with, are you going to get anything out of Chris Sale this year? I know Jake is adamantly against that.
Not a damn thing.
What if?
I would say today, Tuesday, December 19th at 8 p.m., the Red Sox have 2 players on the active roster that I'm like, they're starting 32 games for us.
Bayo.
Yeah.
Pavetta.
No, I was looking at that cracker with the juice.
Oh, Cutter? Yeah, I'm down for some Cutter.
No, I'm all in on Cutter.
People are throwing his Savant page up on the timeline left and right.
It's pretty. It is pretty.
Numbers don't lie. The fastball plays.
How old is Cutter? How old? Can I need fucking something
27,
right now.
28?
I'm going insane. He's 27.
It was stats. He's got 5 years of control, doesn't he?
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sure.
So
it's like
it was stats the other day who said like if he was pitching for the Mariners, we'd all be talking about him like he's Logan Gilbert, or one of those arms. Which,
not Logan Gilbert, not Logan Gilbert. We're not talking about Logan Gilbert.
I'm just spitballing Mariners pitchers now.
A Brian Wu potentially. You know what I mean?
Where it's like I'm in the ceilings. There.
George Kirby.
Kirby. Oh God, what I would. Compromising things to get George Kirby in Boston. Please and thank you. That command, woo-wee. Brian Wu would be fun too. There's so many jokes you can make with that. I think people are going to rush to the Ric Flair one. I think we should go in the different direction. If Brian Wu is a Red Sox, we should go in the Pop Smoke direction. May he rest in peace.
Or the Woo Sox.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
It's not too obvious.
Smiley's favorite pitcher.
And to the Woo, like.
All right, guys. Let's doomsday prep real quick, okay? He goes to the Yankees.
I don't know.
It is
the doomsday clock's at like 11:55. Okay.
I think doomsday is just
if Yamamoto would just go to the fucking Dodgers, I would be at peace with that. It's like you know what? I get it. That fucking I'd go there too, frankly.
You don't have to be reminded 5 times a year against the Yankees for the next decade that,
Right.
Yeah, and it's like I get it. Like that's definitely more appealing of a situation. And I just can't be the Yankees, guys. It can't. It cannot.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah,
It is.
Skypey.
It is DEFCON 1.
Nightmares for years.
It is DEFCON 1 if he signs with the Yankees.
Yeah. No, I can't.
What if he sucks? I was saying this to Liam. What if he comes over here and he dice Ks? Like people thought he was, I don't know.
Then we signed Sasaki next year.
Yeah, he was 20. Dice K was the same age as he was 1 year older, I think. And he died on the vine, petered out.
Yamamoto didn't have a gyro ball either. Makes you think.
That's true.
Makes you think. All right.
I don't know. Could you imagine though? I mean, what if? I don't know.
Yeah, it'd be crazy. Oh, you guys want to talk about that?
You guys want to
talk about that? All right, let's take a break. I got a point to bring up about the decision to hire Craig Breslow. I think I've said it before, but in this context, I think it rings even more true. But that point comes after the break.
Wow, what a tease.
That's right. We're back. Pod on Lansdowne. Jake, Fitz, and Liam Etchisoivas over here. You can follow us on Twitter. The show is at Pod on Lansdowne. I am at Fitzy Mopena. Jake is at Jake Wallinger. Liam is at Liam Fantasy. Don't forget that underscore at the end. Underscore. If you have a question, comment,
coffee cup.
question, comment, concern, rant, you want to recite a limerick to us on our voicemail line, you are more than welcome to do so. It does exist, folks. It is 617-420-2431. Again, that's 617-420-2431. Go dial that up. Step away from your Christmas dinner in a couple days and give us a voicemail. Your family will understand that. No, guys, I was just calling this podcast to ask them their thoughts about
my friends Fitz, Jake, and Liam.
My very good friends.
We should
I was asking them what they think about Brandon Drury.
Send us your address. We'll come Christmas Carol.
Did they call back? No, they're with their family. Anyways, before the break, I mentioned I had a point about Craig Breslow here, and I think I've said this before on the pod, but it's worth mentioning again here. This in the Full Throttle era, the legacy of the Full Throttle quote from Tom Warner.
Post-throttle
quote. Considering
we live in a post-throttle world.
Yeah, we really do. We really are living in a throttle society. It makes you think. You really do be like that.
I can't believe he said that.
I know. Why say that and set yourself up for that if the biggest move is going to be Tyler O'Neill? Which I don't hate that move. I don't hate it.
We traded for Tyler O'Neill, I guess. Whatever.
That's a good reclamation sort of a project.
We don't need to talk about that.
Very big arms. Welcome aboard, buddy.
Big arms.
Massive arms, dude.
We got a buff outfield. I'll tell you that.
It's SpongeBob the anchor arms.
Yeah, the anchor arms.
Inflating
really is.
So, but with that being, the biggest splash so far that the team has made, when you go out of your way to change the head of the ship in the front office, to go out there and set yourselves up with the Full Throttle type of a quote, it just makes me think, why did you bother to fire Chaim Bloom in the first place if it just is going to be business as usual? I hope it's not business as usual going forward, but so far, all that we have to go off of on the track record is essentially business as usual at this point. And I'm hopeful that can change, because I keep telling myself, well, if they made this decision to hire Craig Breslow, which I do appreciate him, obviously, I could see the positives in him. Hopefully he can give us our own pitching lab, which would be great, a la, the Dodgers or the Rays. But at some point, something's got to give here, or else why did you even make the change in the first place, I guess? I wonder what you guys think about that.
Well, obviously they needed a fall guy, but with saying that, it's like, if you're not going to do anything anyway, did you need a fall guy? If they don't fire Chaim and this offseason we don't get Yamamoto,
you're like, yeah, probably.
It's like, okay, yeah, it's probably not. Fuck.
I mean, is it a situation? Because there were some signings last year made by Chaim. Like Yoshida kind of came together.
Kenley.
The Yoshida thing didn't, they weren't always in on Yoshida the entire time. It just kind of came out one time. Oh wait, they're going to sign Yoshida. Then bam, 5-year contract. Is it a situation of Breslow? Like, I know he said, we want to be aggressive, but is he thinking to himself, well, I don't have to be all that aggressive. You know what I mean? I don't have to put all my chips onto the table at first. I don't know. Maybe that's speculating by me, which probably isn't the right thing to do. But just based, Liam, of what we've seen so far, it's to quote The Who, won't get fooled again. Meet the new boss, same as the old boss. You know what I mean? That's what it feels like.
Yeah, and I don't think it's business as usual. I really don't.
I sure hope not.
I mean, clearly, even the beat writers like, guys, we don't have anything for you. Like, I think they're being so tight-lipped about
hopefully that's the case.
Whatever Craig's cooking in that kitchen, that I think they're going to get creative. Nobody saw Tyler O'Neill coming.
Yeah, I suppose.
Like, I think there are
what does that even mean, though? What does that mean?
What?
Getting creative. I mean, what?
No, because I think so.
What are your realistic
so many of us
pieces? It's like any prospect but the big three.
Sure.
I imagine. And then it's like fucking
I'm just
Tanner Houck? I mean, I don't know. What are your
in terms of like acquiring starters? Like, I think like right now everybody's so
fixated on the rotation.
Tunnel vision, Yamamoto, Montgomery, Burns, and Shota. Like, that's kind of like what people have honed in on.
So it kind of should, because like all the other pieces are going to fall from there. It seems like.
And I mean, yeah, like it makes sense. Like,
just get signed before then, and maybe it's March, and Yamamoto still hasn't signed.
Well, he's only got until January 4th.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Which apparently I don't know if it was Passon who said it today, but he was like, he might wait until the deadline.
Well, you know what? If it's Yamamoto on deadline day to the Red Sox, talk about one hell of a birthday gift. I thought last year was good with the Devers extension, buddy. Pair that, turn 28 with the Yamamoto contract.
Literally, you sound schizophrenic right now.
Schizo posting.
Schizo.
Schizimopania.
Yeah. I mean, give it up. All right.
I will say
still
that.
Riddle me, damn it.
Like, clearly, the last time they cut the GM loose before the season ended was Sherrington, and then they brought in Dombrowski and immediately signed Price, and they traded for Kimbrel. So it's like
a complete culture change,
right? Like I greatly doubt that they would have done the same thing, and then basically have like brought in
stayed that course
3.0. Right. Like
that's what I'm telling myself here, but it's like so far it's like, okay, like,
and I think that's just a product of the way the market's developed this winter.
I suppose
like, there's a handful of big fish. The rest of the free agency class is
fucking want a big fish though.
Pretty fucking mid. Which I get, and I don't know. I think they're playing it the right way. I think if you all of a sudden, I mean, Christ, if they came out and signed Montgomery to like 7 years, 220, like right when free agency started,
let me cut you off. That's a bad contract if they do that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I'd rather they.
But I think you might have to do that. I think.
Well, sure. If it's truck day and we still don't have a front end starter.
Truck day.
Like, okay, maybe go and give Blake Snell 6 years, 180. I don't know. Like,
that's 30 per. Shiver me timbers.
Right,
but that's the nature of free agency. You're gonna have to overbid.
Yeah, maybe develop a fucking pitcher. In the last 20 years.
Right. If you developed a pitcher since John Lester, like an actual.
Hey, we got one. We got one, mate. Probably it looks. Brian, I love you, Brian.
As long as they don't run him into the ground, they need arms around him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it took him long enough to do that, Jake. It only took him fucking 3 presidential administrations to develop a goddamn homegrown pitcher. So yeah, if you don't do that, then yeah, you might have to spend around $30 million for Jordan Montgomery. You know what I mean? Who I think, again, I keep saying in a vacuum today, but in a vacuum, I think he fits in. So, yeah, I know. It's exhausting. I'm with Jake on this. I'm just tired.
I'm tired,
so
boss.
tired. I'm tired, boss.
I'm tired, boss.
That's too damn bad. Fitz, let me throw something at you. When I stopped at my friend Liam's to get a ginger ale earlier, I
did get the ginger ale.
I did get the ginger ale. Yeah.
Peek behind the curtain here. There was a text earlier, or a couple texts in our group chat this afternoon. I don't know where you were about in the area.
Outside my apartment.
Jake,
yeah, I was just standing outside his apartment.
he throws rocks at his window when he's
setting cars on fire.
Text messages here. 4:32 p.m. Brad Pitt gets shot. Burn after reading. From Jake. These are all from Jake. 4:58 p.m. Liam, can I have a ginger ale? I'm so thirsty with the S being a D. Still 4:58. Ginger ale tonight, King. 4:59. Liam, all caps and 10 exclamation points. 4:59. It's cold out. 10 exclamation points. All caps. Liam, let me in. 5:02 p.m. 10
and then I called him. I panicked and I called him after that, and he answered.
It was well. So I did not see the texts. And I'll tell you, it's because I was responding to my Red Sox ticket rep. Funny enough.
But you see, Jake needed the ginger ale, so what matters?
And I got it.
He did. He sure did.
Okay,
Fitz,
but what I said to Liam at his apartment, I was saying, you look down the years of the
good ginger ale.
Good ginger ale. I was saying, you look down the last, whenever Henry bought the Red Sox, 2002, and you look at all the times he opened his wallet and he said, here's a bunch of money for a man. It's not a great track record.
That's just it's sort of almost the nature of free agency, though.
But
okay, what's the list?
Okay. All right. So you got the first big one, probably like JD Drew. Sure, fine.
No.
Not that much money. Not that much money. Okay, then we go Carl Crawford.
Well, obviously a disaster, yes.
We go Pablo Sandoval.
Made me laugh, so I can't say it was a disaster.
We go Dice K.
I mean, at the end of the day, the Dice K contract doesn't look great, but he did have his moments. He was low-key. He came in third in Cy Young in 2008, low-key. But you don't pay for just 1 year of third place in the Cy Young, so I do understand that.
You go Hanley Ramirez.
He showed his boobs that one time.
You go Chris Sale.
Okay, are you talking the extension?
Fitz, I'm just saying paying him, man.
Are you talking the extension?
You absolutely do not have to give it to John Henry, but I understand when he's a little apprehensive to pay guys.
Are you talking the extension that he signed after winning the World Series? Chris Sale.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, he didn't pay him before.
That's not good. I'm just
legitimately one of the worst contracts in baseball history, actually. Like top 3, I would say, depending on this year.
History.
Fitz, he's pitched like 200 innings in 4 years.
That's like 198 more innings than Steven Strasburg. So
actually, that one's worse. That one is worse.
Just off the dome.
Strasburg gave his life for that World Series.
What did Chris Davis sign, Liam, with Baltimore?
Fuck yeah,
shit, what was that?
Because that prevented them from signing Machado, essentially.
Basically, it was like 7 years, 160.
Yeah.
And he's still getting paid a shit ton. But I don't know. I mean, I was telling this to Jake. You look at, okay, you can say Dice K was a bad contract, yes, but you won a ring, you won an 07. You can say John Lackey was a bad contract, you won in 13 with him,
and he was you win in 13 without John Lackey.
Right. You could say David Price was a bad contract. You won in 18 with him. You won three AL East titles with David Price on the team. So who's to say if it was a bad contract or not?
I don't think it was a bad contract. He holds all the cards, Liam.
He does. People forget.
I don't know. I'm talking in circles a little bit. I noticed that today.
Way, that's not the point.
I also look at you gave Bogarts that early extension, turned out great. You gave Pedroia an extension at one point, that worked.
Pedroia?
Yeah, they gave him.
I mean, God bless him. I love him. He played 3 years of that extension.
Well, did he though?
Yeah, he played 14, 15, 16, and then he was toast after that.
Red Sox Hall of Famer, though, so possible
No,
to say it's a bad
God
country.
bless him, but that was
Well,
not,
I don't.
you know.
God bless him.
Well, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, God bless
I don't
him.
know. At the time, it looked like a good deal.
And I'm not the first person to say this either, but if you're not going to pay Yamamoto, you know, where's, like, if a 25-year-old ace isn't the guy you open your purse for, who is? Who is then?
Again, preaching to the choir here.
At Fitzy Mopena, opening day starter?
Yeah, I will gladly take their money. Legalized bank robbery. 100%.
If Fitz was on
I
the
throw
weekend,
exactly one hard pitch, and I'm like, I got a boo-boo on my shoulder. I can't
Fitz, what do you
this.
top out at? What's your max velo?
I don't. If I hit like 40, I feel like I'd be lucky right
I would
now.
literally the way my body works now is if I throw a ball with any real force, like the hardest I can throw a ball, my shoulder will come out of its socket.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you kind of glitched there a little bit, but yeah, I know you do. Have
Shoulder
some
comes out of the socket
shoulder
anyway.
issues.
But that's I mean, how different is that from Chris Sale? Really,
If you think about it.
Yeah, just.
Oh man, but no, I agree. Yeah, it's if not now, then when are you gonna?
Well, on this day, 23 years ago, Manny Ramirez officially signed with the Red Sox.
Well, that
when we were
there's a
strong.
sign that worked.
Well, that one worked out.
It's true.
It's Bing.
You know what's a bad extension that I don't think it's talked about enough? When they gave Beckett that extension.
Yeah.
When did he sign?
Theo
that?
was on a fucking
I want to say that was like
power trip those last
maybe?
few years. That was ugly stuff. Those
2010, did you say,
years.
Liam?
I think it was either after 09 or after 10. It was like a 4-year extension.
He got that bag and immediately turned the Texas tough guy up to
09, 10, 11, Theo was like Shaq on the Celtics. He let Beltray walk, you sign Crawford, you give the bag an extension, you fucking you do the Rizzo for Gonzalez thing, which is fine in a vacuum, but everything else is terrible.
The Beltray lack of an extension, like at the time, it was like a 1-year kind of show me sort of contract,
right,
and he
it was
showed
like,
the hell out. But I think it was a matter of I don't think he's going to keep this up.
He
Puts
did,
together a Hall of Fame
and then
career.
some.
Sure
He's
did,
going to
yeah.
some.
a slam dunk Hall of Fame candidate right now. He's almost certainly going to get his plaque in the summer. Would have been. I guess that would have been nice.
Theo pooping his pants those last 3 years and then dipping is one of the funnier. That's so cool. He did that. It was like, yeah, you guys handle this after 11.
11 is obviously, you talk about the collapse in 2011. In 08, they were close, obviously losing that 7th game in Tampa to the Rays in the ALCS. 09 and 2010, a weird, I don't want to say forgotten period of Red Sox history.
Well, they made the playoffs in 09. They just got swept.
By Anaheim, right?
That 10 team, let me be frank, was loaded. If they were healthy, that offense, juggernaut.
If they had the multiple wild cards in 10 and 11, Red Sox history would be completely different.
Dude, if that 10 team was healthy,
weird.
that offense was like...
Buckles and Lester were insane at the top of the rotation.
Yeah, who was... fucking Martinez was catching, right?
Yeah.
And he was... Beltray at third.
Yeah,
who was
Vimart
playing
was
short
on.
in 2010?
Scudero.
Oh, yeah. And then they... Yeah, wow. Yeah.
Then
what was the outfield?
Of Mike Aviles and Jose
Was that
Iglesias.
Mike-
Well,
Mike Cameron here?
that outfield was kind of a mess. Yeah,
Els.
Yeah, that's right. Theo gave Mike Cameron like a 2-year bag, and that didn't work.
Who was
out.
playing left for that team? Was that when Ellsbury played left?
Yeah, they were like, "We'll move Ellsbury to left."
Oh, and then he
Mike Cameron will
slammed
play
into
center.
Beltray and fucking
Yes!
died. That's right. Yeah.
When
Yeah.
did Bay sign with the Mets? Before 2010?
No,
Yeah.
after... Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was
after
09.
09.
After 09, he left.
After 09, before 2010. Yeah.
God,
Thank
he
God
was
that
special.
one. Thank God we didn't hand that one out.
Not New York. That was the easiest way to get clout on Facebook back in the day, like 2012 or so, was just to make a Jason Bay Mets joke. Those were easy money way back when. You youngins wouldn't know about that. That's a clown.
Okay, wait. All right. Sorry. Okay, let's get back on track. Let's get back on track.
I said it's not. I mean, let's keep talking.
What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
What are we prepared to do about it?
What are we gonna? You boys, I tweeted the clip from The Sopranos when spoiler alert, when Adriana tells Chris that she's a rat, and he puts his face in his hands and he just goes, "What are we gonna do?" That really is my mental state at this point. Like, if Yamamoto's gonna sign, maybe by Christmas, whatever, and then it's like you've got you have to go get two quality starting pitchers, maybe another bat. I don't know. I mean, it's
another bat.
I don't. It's I how did we get here? I just don't understand how this happened.
I no longer recognize my club.
I don't. It's really bad.
Yeah, I don't know who that other bat.
I'm like straight up at a loss for words at this last week. I
don't know. I don't know what the direction is.
It would be.
Are we punting on 24?
That's what. If you don't make these, if you don't give me even like half throttle here, if you don't secure a Montgomery and figure something out to piece together that rotation, then yeah, you are punting on it. That's what it seems like.
Oh, great. What's a fifth year in a row? Whatever.
Bridge year, guys. Another bridge year.
Right? Why? Like, because why do we have any other, reason to believe otherwise? You know what I mean? Unless more of these kids sort of come up and really start to take a step forward. Which, I mean, I think the youngsters that we do have in the system can be solid, but I mean, to make an instant impact like that. I mean, outside of like a Casas, you know what I mean? Like that, he's already a legit hitter. And Bayo's been solid, but like, is he a number one, number two, like anchor of the rotation sort of a guy? I don't know.
You right now with the way the roster is constructed, and I know the rotation. I mean, I'm always dramatic, but I imagine they will do something. It's like with the rotation, but the offense seems pretty set. Maybe a DH or something. I don't know.
I think you need more ready bat in there.
Yeah, you need like best case scenario from like every hitter in that lineup.
Yeah.
Like there's very little wiggle room in there.
Yeah. I would agree.
I would say
Massa.
If your outfield is on opening day is oh shit, I keep forgetting Ref Snyder exists. Fuck.
No, he really doesn't. For it really does not matter.
Well, okay, so imagine if like you're basically the four outfielders you're carrying on your roster on opening day are you brought Duvall back. It's Yoshida, Duran, O'Neill.
What?
Like, are you guys happy with that?
Why the fuck would we bring Duvall back?
Just as another right-handed bat.
Tyler O'Neill, that's completely.
Well, I know that's like why he was there.
Right-handed bat. You know what I mean?
Just bring Justin Turner back.
Well, we don't know how that's going to shake out.
Okay, wait. This is something. Do we have a backup first baseman?
Yes.
Yes, we do. We sure do.
I think that's Sophie's single funniest contribution on the show. That was perfect timing.
But like,
yeah,
is it Reyes? Does Reyes play first?
Shut up, Jay.
I'm sure he could. I'm sure he could play first.
Like if Casas, rolls fucking rolls his ankle at 6:30. Like who plays first that night? Is it Reyes?
Your guess is as good as mine.
That's what I'm saying. So maybe we need Justin Turner back.
Reese, get a glove, buddy.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Breslow was talking up Bobby a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, trying to boost that trade value.
Yeah. I don't know. Do you try to teach Valdez some first? He certainly can't play anywhere else.
I don't know. Like, guys, this roster, you look at the other AL East teams, and it fucking sucks. Like, what the fuck happened?
The funniest possible outcome here is Hassan tweeting tonight. The Red Sox and Yoshinobu Yamamoto are in agreement, like $350 million. And then we get right back on and be like, life is good. Life's amazing. Whoop, whoop, whoop. This is baseball heritage. We are the Boston Red Sox Baseball Club, and we are back. Play the More Than a Feeling TikTok.
That's such a good video. Quoting the slap dick signings with that is so good every time. What was his name? Cooper Crystal? What the fuck was his name?
Cooper Criswell.
Yeah. What the fuck was that about?
My only complaint of that
That's
video
the
is
only
that it
major league
features
signing
BC
we've
in there.
made, right?
What, Liam?
He's the only major league signing we've made this winter, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Yeah.
Yes.
I saw the A's signed someone earlier tonight for
Yeah, they have now
$1.5
outspent us. Yeah. Terrific.
What's happened to my
Which I think will change, but
I really don't recognize my club anymore.
oh man. All right. Well, I don't.
All right. So wait. All right. Okay.
What are you gonna say, Jake?
I love that this is just kind
I'm
of
just trying to
devolved
think
into
are they fucked?
therapy
I mean, are we fucked, guys?
I feel. First of all, I feel like we have a therapy session like once a month now, Liam, which is probably good for us. Jake, I guess again, there's still a lot of like, maybe this is the optimist in me coming back out after kind of venting a bit. There's still a lot of chips that need to be, or cards that need to be played here. Let's see where the chips fall, because there's still trade candidates out there for the rotation. Montgomery, who knows?
You guys want nightmare scenario? Yamamoto signs with the Dodgers. Yankees go and give Montgomery the bag. Then what?
I still think it's Yamamoto to the Yankees.
New York would be worse.
Still
I think.
If we give Blake Snell money, if we give him real U.S. dollars, that's it for me. I'm done.
No, Son, you'll be right back on the podcast. Let's talk about
that. Yeah, no. If it turns out like Yamamoto
there's just
to the
no
Yankees,
way that whatever deal he
Montgomery to
gets
the Dodgers, then we
isn't
get
catastrophic.
Snell the bag. I don't know, guys.
Yeah, that screams like you're in a bar 20 years later. Be like, oh yeah, that Snell contract was bad. He was good beforehand. He was pretty good, but
I'm just dying to have another Chris Sale.
I said it like a couple weeks ago. Like that's just reeks of Chris Sale 2.0.
You know what would be a good verbal meme for this? You know the meme of Yoda laying down in bed, like me like says something along the lines of like me with my stomach hurting from eating too much cheese, and then he stands up and says, "Go to the fridge to get more cheese."
Going back for more Chris Sale.
going back for more Chris Sale. Can we make that?
Yeah, we can make that. What I thought you were going to say when he's watching the ship leave, and it's like there is another.
No, that's pretty good.
That's what I thought at first too.
He's the only injury-prone lefty on the wrong side of 30.
No, there is another.
The sacred texts.
I thought at first you were going to do maybe the like the Lego Star Wars like Yoda scream.
Wow!
Is that the R2D2?
That was.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Thanks, guys.
Anyways,
Fitz, do we need a break?
Yeah, we need a break, and then your job, my friend. Jake.
No, Fitz. That's a whole episode.
No, I thought we were doing it like as a Christmas like segment at the end.
Well, are we recording next week?
Well, that's already past Christmas. We'd be recording Boxing Day. Sorry to our Canadian listeners, but it won't be out for Boxing Day either.
We can have a Boxing Day special.
We'd have to record on Christmas.
I think. Oh right. Well, no, but I think this task is longer than the last segment of a episode.
I mean,
you can edit this out, by the way.
No, we're keeping it. Gotta keep it. We have to explain
behind the curtain.
Inside jokes. I thought that was going to be our Christmas gift to them.
I know, but I just think you're hand waving it a little bit. I think it's a bigger task than you. It's a lot.
Then how do we end the show?
I don't know.
Let's go to break.
I think it's time to send it down to Heidi.
Okay, talking. I thought we were doing it at the last segment of this, like as a.
Let me run back through our text real quick.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. All right. Well,
we don't need 20 minutes on all of them.
No. Okay, all right. Fitz, will you trim this down because we've been. like this conversation we're just having because we can do it. I think you're right.
Yeah, I was going to cut out this. I mean,
okay,
I
great.
have to cut this out for the ads, anyways. You know what I mean?
All right.
So whatever we have, we can do.
Okay, so do you want to introduce the concept or should I?
We're back. We have made an executive decision here on Pot on Lansdowne. Final segment. No specific baseball talk, but as a Christmas gift to you, shout out Phil Spector.
The listeners.
No shout out Phil Spector. He's a bad guy. But that album does slap. What can I say? We have a gift for you. People have asked us for this, Jake.
They have.
And by people, I mean like 3 people. So you're getting it.
So Merry Christmas.
All they're getting it. Yeah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Yes. Have a Quasi Kwanzaa, Tip Top Tet, Solomon Dignified Ramadan, Krusty the Clown. So I love that bit. We are running through one time and one time only the Pod on Lansdowne inside jokes that we reference onto the podcast. For those of you who are newer, who joined on when we started with Over the Monster, now Monsters of Socks, first of all, we love you all the same. Thank you for riding with us for this past year. But we've been doing it for longer than a year. We have had inside jokes developed from that time, which the OG of OG listeners may recall, up to now. As your Christmas gift, we will run through those inside jokes. This is very inside baseball, inside podcasting. But you know what? We're going to have fun doing it. A little trip down memory lane. And then if you want to know the inside jokes from here, well, you're on your own, kid, because we're not going to explain them again. So consider this your ticket inside the Pod on Lansdowne lore. Where do we want to start, gentlemen? Because we made a list of this. We made a list and we checked it twice.
I think Stan Chera is the logical.
Okay, Stan Chera. Liam, do you want to introduce Stanley Chera to us? And when we say going out like Stan Chera, what that means?
Sure. Well, he was a good friend of the 45th president, Donald J. Trump.
A good indicator
friend.
for us is that if it has something to do with Orange Man, good chance I will bring.
Let me
an endorsement, by the way, in case we weren't clear at all.
I have the quote on my phone here too. So sadly, we lost Mr. Chera.
Yeah, Stan is no longer with us.
Yeah.
So sadly, we lost Mr. Chera in 2020 in the midst of our great pandemic.
Because of the fire, he
yes.
died
See, the
because
virus got him. The vid got him. So there's a quote from Mr. Trump that Jake is very fond of. I will give it a dramatic reading here now. So this is from the 45th president. I've lost 3 friends. One, a very good friend, a very successful man, New York guy, employed a lot of people that were all crying over his death. Stanley Chera. He went to the hospital. He calls me up. He goes, I tested positive. I said, well, what are you going to do? He said, I'm going to the hospital. I'll call you tomorrow. He didn't call. I call the hospital. He's in a coma. Now, I know a lot of people that had the flu. They were never in a coma. And that my friends, is the legend of.
Well, fast
Well,
forward.
you're missing one of the greatest
part.
lines.
Yes, Jake, do you want to take the floor? Do you want to take over
so
the story?
So then Trump gets COVID, and then so I have the article here. Shortly after his COVID diagnosis, fever spiking, hooked up to an oxygen tank, Donald Trump reportedly wondered aloud to an aide. I can't even.
I know it off the dome.
No. Wondered aloud to an aide, am I going out like Stan Chera?
Am I?
Am I? Which is one of the funniest sentences anyone has ever said. Am I going out like Stan Chera? And so when we tweet a picture of an old, bald man with big bug eyes.
It looks like a turtle.
That is Stan Chera,
Yes,
and
looks
that
like a
essentially
snapping turtle.
means you're going out sad, basically.
Yes.
So that's the context of that.
I
Short
would
hand
almost say
where it's
that's,
over.
that's almost like our out of context. Thank you, Red Sox Nation.
It is,
I
yes.
mean, it's like
Yeah,
it's
you
the same
never,
idea.
ever. It's bad if someone's comparing you to Stan Chera.
We should make our own thank you, Red Sox Nation, like at overhead picture of Fenway, right, and put like the red sort of like filter onto it and have the "Thank You Red Sox Nation" font, but where the sun is in the picture, like a translucent picture of Stan overlooking Fenway.
Face.
Yes, I think so.
We could do like the Harambe meme, but with people we've referenced on the pod.
Oh, that's good actually.
With Stanley
Come join us,
Cherish in the place of
With
All
like
right.
Nelson.
Yeah, I love Fred. He rests in peace. Yes.
Yeah. All right.
What
So
saying,
that's probably the biggest one.
it's
I
one
would
of the
say.
big ones. What's next there? Which one do we want to go to next, Jake?
Okay. We have the Steven Tyler yell.
Ow!
Ow!
Anytime you hear an ow, I think I am very equipped to explain
Sure.
this one to the folks. So if you have ever heard, you know what? I'm going to make note of it right now. If you've ever
gonna
heard
plug that.
this yell on the podcast, that yell, that is Steven Tyler, lead singer of Aerosmith. I'm just adding this in. Add the yell for an example. I'm making notes of this in my phone so I know how to edit it later on tonight while I'm editing the episode. If you hear that yell, that is Steven Tyler. It is from the intro of Nesson's elite programming, Dirty Water TV. I'm sure you've seen it on before. It was probably at a bar with the
I'm
sound
sure
off
you've
where you
seen
were.
it when you forgot to shut Nesson off after a Red Sox game.
Exactly, yes. That or Charlie Moore Outdoors 50-50 call.
Yes.
It is a bunch of celebrities. It's like, I think Adam Sandler's on there. Like, hey, this is Adam Sandler, and you're watching Dirty Water TV. Or, I love that Dirty Water TV. Beg pardon. This is Michael Chiklis, and I love that Dirty Water TV. And it goes to Steven Tyler. This is Steven Tyler, and I love that Dirty Water TV. And then just unleashes that ow, that patented scat that he does. You know what I mean? So anytime you hear that ow, or we tweeted ow, it means something suggestive has happened.
Yes.
Or like, if anything sexual kind of comes up, you can kind of do it ow. Or
it's an off-color remark. Usually.
Yeah, or it's our
Typically.
version of the bleep button.
Yes.
That's all it is. That's pretty
what it's
straightforward.
evolved into. Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's because Jake said something. Although every now and again you'll get a Liam one. But I have my radars up, and I'm like, nope, that shouldn't fly. That's probably best for everyone if that's censored out. And I also think it's actually kind of funny if Jake says ow, and you don't expect it all the time. It's a nice little running bit. So that is the Steven Tyler scat.
Great. Okay, next up we have the lore of Smiley Ball. So I'll take this one because I believe I started it kind of so I believe this was in the midst of the 2022 season, maybe late 2022 season, mid 20, and it was Ryan Brazier was being bad per usual, and we knew that Ryan Brazier has some we'll just say he leans right politically. And so I think I said something along the lines of like, he can get sent down to Worcester and he can live with Smiley, like they could be roommates or something. And that conversation somehow got to Smiley being at the insurrection on January 6th.
Yes, we started riffing a bit, and for one reason or another, our brain, this was a collective effort, the three of us. Smiley was a stand-in for like the most MAGA of MAGA, essentially.
Yeah. Yes.
I totally
Stop the
forgot it
ceiling
was about like them living together and driving
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, it was them like
forgot
smoking
that.
weed on the couch together and like watching Cops or something.
Yes.
Which way, Western side?
So, and then
Western
over the last year and a half now, it's just kind of like, oh, something awful. Smiley
was
believes
behind
in that. Smiley signed Smiley up. Yeah.
Kanye
So-
says something, anti-Semitic or something like that, co-signed by Smiley. Something like that. I remember there was a hot second where we were kicking around the idea of Slugger being his leftist, kind of yin and yang situation here. That never really left the group chat.
No,
You know what I mean?
Smiley, I feel like
We love
Smiley's,
Slugger down up in
Smiley's Smiley's too powerful at this point to.
Yeah, you know what I mean. It was going to be
spotlight.
like, yeah, Slugger listens to like Chapo. You know what I mean. It was going to be stuff like
Calm
that.
down.
Yeah, he's a big Adam Friedland guy.
Yeah.
But no, that never really got off the ground. So we kind of stuck to our meat and potatoes with Smiley being a big MAGA guy. So there's that. There's the genesis of that story.
He's got the red hat and everything. So.
Yeah, it worked out. You know.
All right, next. These next two are real quick. Certified Pod on Lansdowne moment. That's just when two of us, because we all have access to the pod account. It's just when two of us tweet the same exact thing at the same time,
or retweet about like we quote the same tweet and we say something about it. So I started that for sure, like noticing that. Like I'd bring it up to the chat, like who tweeted this? Do we want to delete one of them? Fuck it, like keep them both up.
Sometimes we get excited.
Sometimes
we get excited.
I just started. I think it was during this past season is when I think I really started doing it. If memory serves, it was during the Brewers series I really started to kind of, because we did it like 3 or 4 times when Yoshida hit the 2 homers. Yeah, way back.
Okay.
If memory serves, I could be dead wrong though. Don't look it up. But I remember it happened like 3 or 4 times that series. And I just, this is a certified Pod on Lansdowne moment. This is a certified Pod on Lansdowne moment. This is a certified Pod on Lansdowne moment. Screenshotting the 2 tweets. And comparing the 2, that's all it is.
Yeah, that one. That's
pretty
easy. Simple. Pod on Causeway. So that is just. I mean, the first time we did it, it was June 2022 or May 2022, and it was the
Celtics playing the Nets.
Yeah, it was the Celtics, right?
Yeah, the Celtics Nets, because the Red Sox were bad and the Celtics were good, and we were like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just talk about the Celtics this week. So we did, and now it's a threat to the Red Sox whenever things are looking bad, and the Bruins or Celtics. Certainly not the Patriots.
Not now, but you could, if the fortunes did turn next year and it's September.
It's just a threat that we're going to rebrand to
Pod at Patriot Place or something.
Pod on Route 1, I believe was
Pod on Route 1. Yeah, that's excellent. Good.
So that's all that is. It's a maybe a rebrand. Okay.
I had one here just quickly. Anytime you hear me reference Christmas with the Cranks, that just means I'm annoyed with something. So I feel like I want to talk about something else. So I mentioned cranking off. Essentially, that was a 1 episode bit that I thought of on like the day of like when we were going to record after Xander Bogaerts signed in San Diego. I was very upset. I was missing Xander already. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to kind of do a bait and switch here. Everyone's going to be like, ooh, Xander. You know what I want to talk about? This masterpiece starring Tim Allen and company. So that's where anytime you hear me mention the Cranks, that was the start of that. Liam, where do we want to go next?
Is that the same episode where, I don't know, maybe we're like 15 minutes in and there's a clip of Jake where he's just like, I don't know if I'm sold on this bit, Fitz.
That's exactly the same one.
That is that, yeah.
But like a good man, I did not give up on the bit.
He kept going.
You kept going. God bless.
And I've done it like 2 other times since. Like if there's like been big news, like I kind of do a long lead in and then I start. The whole thing was that I read the Wikipedia page from top to bottom of the episode or of the episode of the movie. So instead, I was gonna.
All right, so we've already talked enough about.
Listen to the Xander episode. It's on your feed. Scroll down a year ago.
All right. Next up, we'll just rattle off some quick ones. Tiny Dancer, or you're just telling me that now for the first time?
Wow. She lived an amazing life.
She lived an amazing. That's a reference to a iconic video of the 45th president Donald J. Trump exiting or entering. I'm not sure.
He was
his
leaving
helicopter
and going on to Air Force One.
Oh, Air Force One. Okay. And the pool of the reporters, they inform him of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, former Supreme Court Justice, her death, and they're telling him just now for the first time. And Tiny Dancer's
Trump
playing in the background,
his ear like this, like I can't hear.
Yeah. So seek that clip out. It's probably one of the greater 2 minutes in modern American history.
I think I have it memorized.
But that's that one. Okay, next up.
I don't know if I do.
Liam, you want to get one of these? He loves his cars.
Yes, I can take that. So one of our favorite shows here on the program is Smiling Friends. It's on HBO Max, right?
Yeah, it's an Adult Swim show. Yeah. You can stream it on Max. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So
also on Blu-ray. You can buy it on Blu-ray now.
Oh, great. Physical media. We love physical media.
We love it.
But there's a bit in the episode where the two characters, they are, I don't know I don't know. They're just drawings. They're like scribbles. They're not like
They
real
call them
people.
critters. They call them critters.
It's okay. So just imagine two critters. They're talking, and one of the characters, Charlie. What is it? His dad or his uncle?
His uncle.
His uncle. What was it?
In the span of like 90 seconds, he
influence?
references like 3 DUI situations that his uncle gets into. While they're trying, the whole point of the show is that Smiling Friends are trying to cheer people up, so they're trying to cheer up the celebrity who's gotten canceled. And side note about Smiling Friends, the way the dialogue works in that show, like how casual it is, juxtaposed with how ridiculous of a situation they're in, like they just talk casually. That's part of the humor, if you ask me. It's a great show. And quick hitters too. There's 7 episodes and they're all 10 minutes long. Get through it.
Yeah.
It's easy to roll through.
But at one point, Charlie, who is the big yellow critter, he mentions another situation that his dad or his uncle, rear-ended some guy while he was
actually the
drunk.
situation that sparks the final reference is him.
Probably, but...
Yeah. It's my favorite show. It's him.
Jake knows it back and forth.
Charlie takes out some sleeping pills that he got from his uncle that helped his uncle sleep after he rammed his truck through a crowd of people. And Pim is like, "Oh wow, Charlie, your uncle sure gets in a lot of car accidents or whatever." And Charlie goes, "Yeah, he loves his cars.
The way he cuts him off and he just loves his
So
cars.
casual.
So basically, when we reference that, it's something like it's like somebody being an idiot or being like Chris Sale loves his bikes, something like that. I don't know. That one's hard to kind of articulate.
Or even just say, I love this, and then someone goes, loves his cars. His cars.
So that's that one. I'll get this one. This one means a lot to me. The soy face.
Oh,
So
classic.
this is for those unaware. A soy facing. It's opening your mouth like. This is an audio format, so it's a little
YouTube
difficult.
thumbnail. Just think of a YouTube thumbnail.
Yeah, YouTube thumbnail. But it came from these two guys
If
at
you've seen Mr. Beast video, you've seen a soy face.
Yeah, it's basically like a kind of a millennial thing, I guess, that they do it a lot. It's like, I'm excited about this thing, and you soy face it. The origins of it are unimportant. It's like two guys outside a fucking vegan chicken restaurant or something.
That's exactly what it is, as a matter of fact.
But so if you're soy facing, it's like you're excited about something maybe silly or I don't know. I don't know what else to add to
You're
that.
excited. You're
Pop. That's what you're excited about.
surprised.
Yeah.
And you have to do the point behind to something.
Yes, you have to
what
point
you're
behind
excited
you.
about.
All right, the last one I have here is the TAM.
We got a couple more.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we have some more.
I still got
Tam.
15 and a half. I got 15
Oh,
and a half.
right. The TAM. I'll take it. I love that video. That video means a lot to me.
Roll through it.
All right, so I can't say a lot of what's in the video, but an iconic video
You
is.
can't say one thing. It's not a lot. It's one thing.
Yeah,
you
an
can't
iconic
say.
video is it's tweeted at Moschino Dorito. He's kind of an annoying, weird guy, but he did provide us with this video of it's him walking by the TAM, which is a restaurant or a bar. It's not a restaurant.
A fine dining establishment.
Fine dining
It's a
establishment.
restaurant.
5-star restaurant. A Michelin rated restaurant. It's a dive bar near Emerson, near the Boston Common on Tremont Street. And it's a real piece of shit, but it's him walking by it. I believe the day of the 2019 Patriots parade.
Yeah, I think so too.
And he's walking by it, and there's like some townies by, and they see him filming it. And they're like, "Oh, it's fucking hilarious, right? The bar's full. It's fucking hilarious." And then another guy
randomly pans over.
He pans over, and one guy goes, "Oh, wait, what's the next guy? Obey your mother."
Obey, yeah, that's obey your mother.
Okay, then
Which
the
you
second guy
get
goes,
in the episode.
"Obey your mother," and then the third guy says, "I can't say what he says."
A slur.
A slur. But it's a great video. I think we've posted it a couple times. It's kind of a piece of history. It's like if you're
It's a
on
moment
Twitter,
in
you've
time.
You know
seen
that one.
Yeah.
Have
All right.
to.
Well, I just wanted to.
It
have
happened
to.
right before COVID hit and everything. Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
a moment. in time.
And that's how we end our episodes now. We go Sox and obey your mother. And it's a reference to that.
Yes.
Print the shirts. The shirts are coming.
Yeah, we need
2024.
Red Sox font, obey your mother.
Wow.
Print them. Print them.
We might be cooking.
Liam, would you like to explain 15 and a half right quick?
Yes, I will take that. That one's my favorite. So God, how do I even begin?
Maybe the funniest moment in podcast history, I think. Show's history.
It's funny. It's funny, by the way. When I was at my sister's wedding last weekend, someone came up to me and they were like, "Yeah, I listened to one of your episodes, and you guys were talking, and I don't know, like you were laughing so hard, like you couldn't get like words out." And I'm quite certain this was the episode.
Was I talking about Tanner Houck?
Yeah. So I'm sure our beautiful listeners are well aware of Tanner Houck and his struggles to get through the fourth, fifth inning, third time through the order, etc. So this must have been mid-July, sometime in the summer.
Yeah, it was this past season.
Yeah. And I had pulled up his baseball reference page and was digging through his numbers inning by inning. And while his ERA in the first two innings, I believe was 0, or at least even through the first 3 innings, it might have been 0. We got to the fourth inning. I believe it jumped up to like
7,
maybe 6 or 7. And then we got to the fifth inning. And for one, I knew it was bad. I didn't realize it was.
Surely it can't be worse.
Surely, I didn't realize it was this bad at the time before my eyes laid on it. And of course, I hadn't looked at it prior to pulling it up. And lo and behold, his ERA in the fifth inning was 15 and a half. And I struggled to get the words out.
Hear it again. 15 and a half, dude.
And it was shocking. But it was.
It's still shocking. It's still shocking.
And you know that we I think we all kind of lost it.
And we tweet that clip out every now and again at Pod on Land Sound. Shameless plug. So anytime Tanner Houck comes up in conversation, someone will inevitably reference 15 and a half. You're not in the dark on that one anymore. If you missed that episode or missed any references to that, that's where that comes from. I have
that was pretty recent.
So that just happened on here as well. Essentially, we were just making fun of Sweden movies in the MCU. How like a nuclear bomb could go off and then Iron Man turns.
It's like post irony.
Yes.
Speak.
So that
behind me, isn't he?
You're gonna want to take a look at this.
Yes, and he's right behind me.
Yeah. So that's that one. That's
my favorite tweet in that genre is if Joss Whedon directed Dune. The sandworm's behind me, isn't he? Run! Just bad movie writing, essentially, is a reference to that. So anything major happens in baseball, like the Red Sox just walked off Game 7 of the ALCS against the Yankees. Okay.
That like Pablo Reyes' walk-off grand slam. So that happened.
That's a thing. All right. Is that going to be it?
Is there anything? I'm trying to think of if we've missed any heavy hitters.
I don't think so. I'm looking through this text conversation. I think that's all I got here.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I mean, all right.
Well, in that event, you have been caught up on the big inside jokes of the podcast, and we will
if this is your first time listening, you're all caught up.
That's you got some work to do over Christmas vacation.
2 years of episodes.
All right, that's going to do it here. Oh, man, I wish it was back where we could. I mean, I like our outro and intro music right now, but I wish I could pick a Christmas song here to kind of send us out.
Just sing a little something.
What's your favorite Christmas song, Liam?
Oh, that's tough. God, what's the one where it starts off? It's definitely from the 80s. It's like, bah, humbug. Well, that's too...
Oh, Christmas Rapping by the Waitresses. That's Missy McLean's favorite. That's a banger.
Yeah, Fitz, what's yours?
That one's a classic.
Fairtale of New York by the Pogues, easily. Although that says the same slur as the Tam video. So you have to replace the lyrics of that.
You're a scumbag, a maggot, you cheap, lousy...
Oh my gosh. Is that really the lyric?
It is, yeah.
Word for word.
Someone tweeted this, and I always go with it.
I have 3, I think.
Hold on one sec, Jake. I got to just give the replacement for people who want to sing to Fairtale of New York without saying a slur. You scumbag, you maggot, you off-brand Bob Saget. That's what you go with.
Oh, God rest his soul.
May
as well.
may he rest in peace. I think Phoebe Bridgers co-signed that one too. So
I've got a couple. I'm
That's
gonna
a
just
good one.
rattle off a couple for you guys.
I've got a couple. Look at you, Mr. Playlist.
Whatever Happened to Christmas by Frankie Blue Eyes.
Frankie Blue Eyes. He was at
The Bamboo Lounge.
He was at the Bamboo Lounge. That's another one. Anytime you hear a funny Italian name like that, it's just a reference to Goodfellas, the Bamboo Lounge.
I just lost it. Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Judy Garland. Judy
Garland.
Garland's
Solid.
version, yeah.
Coldplay has a great version of that too.
Silent Night by the Temptations.
Yep. Temptations are great.
And then Christmas, Baby Please Come Home, Darlene Love.
Darling Love.
Yeah.
That the also in Goodfellas, that one. Right?
I don't know. Is it?
What's the scene? No, that I'm thinking of a different one from a Christmas Gift to You when they have to return the car and the coat. That's I think that was Frosty the Snowman in that one.
Fitz, I don't know.
I don't know.
Unfortunately.
I don't remember off the top of my head. Anyways, it's gonna do it. We're gonna record on Boxing Day.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
I'm not Canadian, so I can.
We can if you guys want.
I'm not British, you know.
Pack my mic up.
Maybe if the Red Sox spend $1 between now and then.
Just a single
$1
Tweet $1 emoji at us. If you made it this far into the episode, there's your prompt. Oh Jesus, Liam! Before we sign off, very very quickly, custody of Jake match on Saturday.
Oh.
Saturday's a big day.
Wow.
After the
Liam, by the time Saturday is done, you'll either be a Liverpool fan, an Arsenal fan,
Do you mean
or
Jake?
neither fan
You
because
said
it'll
Jake.
be. Yeah, you could. I'm just Ken. I'm just Jake because we could tie. So
Oh,
That's
okay.
true.
need to
So
go
I didn't
4
know- I
points
didn't know you-
clear.
Three
at
outcomes.
Anfield.
Three true outcomes.
I'm nervous, Liam. Anfield is a house of horrors for us, but I think the boys can at least get a result.
Yeah, I don't know. I wasn't impressed on Sunday with United.
Yeah.
They just couldn't finish. You had them all day.
No.
Couldn't get
Now
one
you're
in.
playing a good defensive team here. I don't know, Jim. 3-1 Liverpool. Watch. All right, that's actually going to be it this time. Have a very Merry Christmas. We will talk to you next week. Thank you so much for listening to us on this episode and all year, and we look forward to even more. But until then, enjoy your holidays. Go Sox, and obey your mother.
Obey your mother.
Obey your mother.
Ho, 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 obey your mother.
Mama.